Welcome back to Vintage Family Recipes with me, Belle. I have a few things to show you this week that don't really have a lot to do with baking, but they have a lot to do with my memories of baking. So the first one is my apron. In the 50s and the 60s and even into the 70s, half aprons were a big deal. I'm not really sure why, because suddenly you didn't get your top dirty when you were baking anymore, but they were a big deal. And my mom let me bring this one home with me because this was one of the first things that I made for her. So I actually made this apron a very long time ago. I think probably somewhere between the ages of 10 and 13, but I don't really remember for sure. I am going to take this off and put on a different apron. And I'm also dressed very 1950s today. I know that this recipe was one that my grandmother used in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I'm pretty sure not in the 40s because of rationing in World War II. I'm actually making a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting today, in part because tomorrow is my husband's birthday and he likes chocolate. I've already measured a lot of the dry ingredients. I measured them the way my grandmother wrote them on the recipe, which was probably not the smartest thing on my part because the sugar and the shortening should have been probably creamed together, but we're just going to go with it. And because it's the 1950s today, I am going to use an electric hand mixer. I'm going to chunk in the shortening so that hopefully it will blend in a little bit better without sending flour and sugar everywhere. That's what I get for not really reading the recipe beforehand and just reading her list of ingredients. Because once again, she didn't really give me great directions. She did tell me what size pan to use, and she did tell me how long to cook it for. I just don't have that size pan, so we're gonna adjust a little bit. Okay. Once I add the eggs and the milk, this will blend together even better. So I'm going to do that in just a second. And I also do need to add the cocoa still. I've already got the 2 cups of flour, the 2 cups of sugar, got the salt, baking powder, baking soda. And now the shortening. I do not have the milk, the eggs, or the vanilla in yet, but I'm going to do those right now, and that should help all of this cream together a little bit better. I'm going to add the eggs first, and then the vanilla. It actually uses 3 eggs. This is the other reason I know that she did, even if she made this before the 1950s, she would have stopped during the Great Depression, and she would have stopped during World War II, because some of these things would have been very hard to come by during that time. Not eggs for my grandmother because they lived on a farm, but sugar especially was difficult to come by. So I'm pretty sure she did not make this during those 2 time periods. I'm going to add the milk. I'm going to put about half the milk in and the cocoa. And it needs 2/3 of a cup of cocoa. Ooh, I'm batting 1,000 today, huh? Just made a mess. I should have measured this out beforehand, but that's okay. Yeah, I kind of eyeballed that one. I didn't scoop it out neatly. Oh, but it's mixing together nicely. Now that I have all the milk in. Let's just mix this all the way, make sure everything is scraped off the sides. It doesn't need more milk. I was being paranoid. I have already greased and floured my pans. It says to use 9-inch pans. I only, for some reason, have one 9-inch pan, but I have like 4 8-inch pans. So I'm using 2 8-inch pans. Some of my former students would probably tell you when I said that I use William and Sonoma pans that I'm a little bit bougie, and they're probably right. And then these will go in the oven for 30 minutes at 350. I'll check them, and if they need more time, then I will put them for like 35. But the recipe says 30 minutes at 350. It's the other reason I know that this is probably not a really old recipe, because she actually used an oven temperature on this recipe. When they come out while they're cooling, I will show you the chocolate frosting recipe that I use. So this could be my first epic fail on video. I used an 8-inch pan instead of a 9-inch because I didn't have 9s. And I opened it after the 30 minutes, forgetting that I should adjust for the idea that it was a smaller pan and the cake was not cooked all the way and it fell. Doesn't mean it tastes bad, but it really does look bad. So I'm going to loosen it from the sides of the pan and let it cool a little bit more before I take it out of the pan. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to make the frosting, because frosting really can fix lots of things. Not epically bad taste, but it could fix just the way it looks. We'll see. Woo! That would have been an even bigger fail. My frosting is 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese and a stick of butter. I'm going to blend these two together with my mixer before I put in anything else. So I have this nice and blended. Oh, yes, here it is. Second, I thought I forgot to get this. Confectioner's sugar. I'll be honest, I never measure when it comes to frosting. I just kind of dump and taste as I go. Some vanilla. And then chocolate, which I know I'm going to need more of. And I'm definitely going to need a little bit of milk. And more chocolate, I'm sure. And more powdered sugar. So I have a feeling this is going to taste like butter and cream cheese with a little bit of other stuff. Should I measure? Probably. Do I? For frosting? Never ever. I'm going to put in a little bit of milk. Maybe a little bit more powdered sugar. Let's see. Very creamy, so we're going with it. Let's see what my cakes look like or feel like, if they're cool enough to dump out on the rack. It's a little warm still, but we're going to try it and see. Okay, it did cave in. It doesn't smell burned, I don't think. We're gonna slop on some frosting and see what happens. It's been a while since I've made a plain chocolate cake, and I don't ever remember using my grandmother's recipe. I used my mom's, and hers isn't anything like my grandmother's. I feel like if I had strawberries, I'd put strawberries in the center, because that would also help keep it from feeling like it's caving in, but I'm all out of strawberries. I don't really have anything else I could use. Ta-da! It came out of the pan really cleanly. Yeah, I do not like the way this looks. We'll find out in a few minutes what its taste is. Yeah, this is a lot of frosting to cover up the hole in the middle. Well, the frosting is good. It has a nice glossy finish to it. There we go. Hopefully I have enough frosting to go all the way around. Yeah, if I wasn't trying to cover up a hole, I would have enough frosting. Wow, I can't believe I don't have enough. Usually I have way extra left over. Is it burned?
It is not burned.
Is it dry?
It's a smidge dry. It is a lot of frosting. The frosting is good though.
Too much frosting because I was trying to fill in the hole?
I don't think it's too much.
Good.
So it's not an epic fail like I was afraid of.
It's a delicious epic fail.
Because it was
It was a fail.
ugly.
It collapsed.
It collapsed in the center. That's why
Yeah.
there's so much frosting in the middle. Because I was trying to
You say that like it's a bad thing.
even it out a little bit. So yes, frosting hides so many mistakes. It really does. Thanks for joining us. And take the time to like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Vintage Family Recipes with me, Belle.